Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and thanks for watching. I just want to remind everyone out there in YouTube land that this channel does have a little bit of a support mechanism for anyone who cares to. At the end of the videos, there is an Abraham Lincoln icon you can click on to learn more about supporting us if you enjoy our content or understand the amount of work that goes into some of what we do. We do appreciate the support. And if nothing else, if you feel like, hey, I do enough already, you greedy son of a gun, then feel free to just go ahead and hit the like and share button. I prefer, likes are great, but telling a friend is more important to me because one of the things that's great about, I believe, about our audience is that they have a high level of IQ and engagement, and flattery will get you everywhere, right? So, but truthfully, I think we have a good conversation here, and I appreciate it. So, on to the video. We're going to talk today about gold and silver because once in a while I talk about gold and silver. I make a video every so often and explain a little bit of my philosophy on gold and silver. I'm not going to try to explain everything to you. This is a lot more philosophical than it is understanding why things do what they do, right? So if you're trying to find someone who's going to explain to you every single day why the price of silver is what it is, you're finding the wrong guy, right? So those people, I think, are not really, I don't think they actually know, to be honest with you. And this is philosophical. I don't think that those people know, right? So of course, here at Old Pueblo Coin, we do coins, but also we do gold and silver. So it's a daily conversation as we have people come in the door. They wax poetic as I do about, the prices and what's going to happen and how it's all related to the price of tea in China, which is the punchline for this whole thing, right? It's the price of tea in China. So the concern for most people is the fact that you're seeing the prices of things go up, and you're talking especially about gas, and then why would gold and silver go down? And those things have completely different mechanisms going on right now, whereas you've had the federal government strangle the flow of gasoline, and that's its own topic, right? You can't say the same thing about silver. Silver and gold do tend to have an inverse relationship to interest rates. Interest rates, when they rise, tend to drive down the price of gold and silver, even if it's temporary. But what I want to talk to you about is, of course, people are concerned because silver has dropped about 25% since, let's say, April. So that's like 2.5 months, right? And so that's something that people find pretty dramatic. And I kind of view that as somewhat temporary. But I could be wrong. I've had guys who come in here who are way smarter than me. I know that's a low bar, but they're way smarter than me, and tell me about how you can have inflation and deflation at the same time. They talk about interest rates and disintermediation and other words that I can't pronounce correctly, and it's really pretty interesting for me to listen to them, but I can't regurgitate what they say, right? But I want to give you some perspective for all the gold and silver buyers out there. Of course, my perspective is that gold and silver are not items that you should be using as quote unquote an investment per se. I always view them more as insurance and as a savings account and as an emergency fund and as an inheritance. Those are the things that I view gold and silver to be good for, right? I do not believe in the end of the economy. I do not believe in a lot of the things that are going on out there that people claim. And a lot of this is not because I'm not cynical enough or overly cynical, but because I've just been around the conversations for so long and I've watched enough things historically that I don't believe those things are going to happen. Now, can America become the next Weimar Germany? Well, you could, but our social structure and everything is like really different than theirs was back then, right? So it reminds me a little bit of the gold and silver guys who compare the price ratio of gold and silver. And it's interesting because elections were fought over the ratio of gold to silver. In 1896, that's like 125 years ago. What does that have to do, once again, with the price of tea in China? I don't think that's relative to our conversations nowadays, right? So your metals have gone down. Now once again, for perspective's sake, when was the last time silver was below $20 an ounce? You can throw a number out there. Go ahead and guess. Right now, it's been 2 years. It's been a couple years. It was April of or July of 2020, right? So it has been a while, right? Gold at 1742 which is what it was at yesterday. When was the last time that that gold was below 1800? Well, that was February of this year. And now the last time it was below 1750 was back in September of 2020. But you understand, we're not that far off from where we were a few months ago when it comes to the price of gold, right? And one of the things that happens is we have something called recency bias. So we think silver should be 25, and we think gold should be 1900 because that's where it was more recently, right? But I'm not telling people to buy silver or gold at these levels because I think the end of the world is coming, which is what a lot of the guys on YouTube do who hawk gold and silver, right? They want you to buy it because it's the end of the world. I don't want you to buy it because it's the end of the world. Now, it would benefit me if I just told people that all day long, right? But I don't think it's true. That's why I say it, because I don't think that it's true. Now, but I think it's smart to save money. I think it's smart to put money into a form that is forced savings. I think that you should buy, for the average working guy, buy an ounce of silver every paycheck. Just do it over your whole lifetime. And don't worry about the end of the world coming, right? If you're really concerned about the end of the world, the end of the economy, the end of the dollar, all these other things, there's a whole lot of other things that you should be doing to prepare for the inevitable, right? But having water, a source of water, food, maybe some electricity, those things are going to be a whole lot more important than having gold or silver, because gold and silver in failed economies haven't really saved that many people, especially in short-term crisis. Now, of course, if you have gold and silver, you have something of value, which is why I encourage people to have it. I like having physical assets. You are correct. If you have digital assets, digital things can disappear tomorrow. I'm not going to say that they're going to do that, but they can. Whereas a physical asset, I'm just making a comparison here, the physical asset is something that you can hold on to and maintain. So the prices of metals are down and everyone's freaking out. And here's the thing I don't understand is, why is it when the price of something went down, do you freak out? Like, if anything else went on sale anywhere, you'd be super excited about it, right? So like your new iPhone went down, 25%. Wouldn't you be so ecstatic to give them your money, right? Like, why are people so upset when the price goes down? It's this weird thing with gold and silver. When the price goes up, buyers get excited. When the price goes down, buyers get upset. The same thing happens in the stock market. This is all psychological stuff. So, be happy the prices come down. I prefer silver below $20 an ounce. I think it's great for people. It's great to be able to go in and buy silver at a reasonable rate. I don't like seeing people pay $35 an ounce for silver eagles. By the way, can I talk about that a little bit? Buy generic silver rounds. Don't buy 90% silver. In this market, since we're talking about gold and silver, do not buy those expensive products. Just buy the silver rounds. I mean, right now, you can find them at $4 or $5 over spot instead of 10. You know how much more silver you get when you spend a couple $100? A lot more silver. This is, which is, by the way, radically different than the market was 2 years ago when it comes to that. Price points are price points as far as like spot price goes, but the buy-sell stuff is radically different than it was a couple of years ago, and that's something that's really unusual in this marketplace. Now, I focused a lot on silver because really Tucson's kind of a silver town, less than a gold town. That's where there's big high rollers in Phoenix and places like that. But the interesting thing to me is that the price of gold and the availability of gold have been pretty stagnant as far as this market's been for the last couple of years. We had a lot of tightness at the beginning of the pandemic, but since then gold has been relatively available. Physical silver is still hard to get. It's still a lot harder to come by. So anyway, I'm here to say, don't panic. Keep buying your gold and silver on a regular basis. Do it for something that's going to be a savings account. It can be an emergency fund. It can be an inheritance. But you're not going to get rich just buying gold and silver. That's one of my main things. If you want to go listen to the guys that are telling you it's the end of the world, go ahead. Go listen to them. I'm just here to kind of say, stop and look at the history of how things have turned out from every last pandemic, war, all of the things we've gone through, Y2K, 2008, market crashes, all this stuff. Hey, so half of it's in our head, guys. That's my message today. All right, thanks so much for watching. I've been the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.